Day 6. Grace can uproot that addiction for good. The Lord has anointed me to preach good tidings to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to those who are bound. Isaiah 61:1. Kate was addicted to alcohol, as well as dependent on a cocktail of strong antidepressants, tranquilizers, beta blockers, and sleeping pills. Over time, trying to cope with the high-octane demands of being a corporate high flyer, as well as the strain of maintaining her success and an image, had driven her to look for relief from all these sources. To the rest of the world, Kate appeared to have it all together. But in reality, her despair over her inability to cope without those substances only plunged her into a vicious cycle of defeat. Kate tried everything to beat the bottle and her depression. She made appointments with psychiatrists and psychologists, and even faithfully attended support groups for alcoholics. Through these endless appointments and meetings, she experienced what she calls a few bouts of recovery that lasted several days at best. In the end, Kate had found herself on the verge of giving up, but God had other plans for her. He led her to one of the leaders in my church who encouraged her to keep hearing the preached word and praying in the Spirit. And as she kept listening to my messages on God's grace, God began uprooting the wrong beliefs that had taken hold in Kate's mind and replacing them with right beliefs about herself and her future. The more she heard, the more she was able to keep her eyes on Jesus instead of trying to overcome the symptoms. The more she heard, the more she was able to be at rest, to see God's blessings in the little things, and to supernaturally not even experience withdrawal symptoms. And in a short time, 4 long and treacherous years of addiction to alcohol disappeared for Kate. The same can happen for you. In a supernatural instant, you too can experience liberation from destructive habits, fears, and bondages. You may not be able to understand how grace can set you free from a long-term addiction, but you can experience it in your heart and experience His liberty in your area of challenge. Today's thought: the more I hear and believe God's grace for me, the more wrong beliefs are uprooted in my life, and the more I shall experience victory supernaturally. Today's prayer: Father, I thank you that your grace has only good in store for me. I know that you love me and that you have wonderful plans for me. In the midst of my challenge, I receive your grace, your liberty, and your deliverance. Help me to keep my eyes on you and the truth of your grace instead of my circumstances. I believe that by your grace alone, I will walk triumphantly above every negative circumstance and experience the freedom and blessings Christ has purchased for me. Amen.